Is your boyfriend or girlfriend a United States citizen and you're from a different country and you want to know about your options for coming to the United States to visit them on your tourist visa? I'm going to talk about that in today's video. My name is Ashley. I'm an immigration attorney. This is a question that I get a lot in my consultations with a couple. So the US citizen partner wants to know if their boyfriend or girlfriend who is from a different country can come to the United States with a tourist visa to visit them. And inevitably, they also always have the question of, is it possible for their boyfriend or girlfriend to stay if they decide to get married and then do a green card case from inside the United States? Now, this is a process that can be a little bit complicated, and there are several important factors that you should keep in mind when making this kind of a decision. So, the number one thing that I always tell the couple is that anytime somebody has a tourist visa, they must have what we call non-immigrant intent at the time of their entry with that visa. What does that mean, non-immigrant intent? It means basically that they are not intending to come to the United States to stay permanently. How can they show that they have non-immigrant intent? They can show that they have a round trip ticket, that they've got their flight booked to return back to their home country after their visit in the United States. They can show that they have a job back home, that they are renting an apartment or they, have a mortgage on a house in their home country. They can show any other kind of evidence of their ties to their home country, like bank accounts, perhaps like if they have a child, that their child is still in their home country. Any kind of documentation, it can really vary depending on the case, but those are typically the key ones that I always tell people if they apply in their situation. Any kind of documentation to show an immigration official at the port of entry, at the airport when they arrive, that they truly are intending to enter to just visit. Another important thing that I always tell people who are planning to come to the United States on a tourist visa to visit their boyfriend or girlfriend is to be honest when they are questioned at the port of entry. The type of questioning really depends on the particular officer. So in some cases, the officer may ask specifically, who are you coming to visit? In that case, they need to provide the person's name. If the officer then asks, who is that person to you? They need to be honest and say, it's my boyfriend or my girlfriend. Why is it so important to be honest? Because if you are not honest, if you appear evasive, or if you lie and you say that that person is not actually your boyfriend or girlfriend, let's say that you just say it's a friend that you have, that can come back later on should you decide to then file for your green card. That can come up to haunt you. Immigration can use that against you to say that you made a misrepresentation at the time of your entry with that tourist visa. All right, so those are the key things that I always tell the couple during the consultation. Now, as far as the question of, can I then get married and stay in the United States? The answer to that question is, it is legal for somebody to have entered on a tourist visa and then to have their circumstances change. There's nothing illegal about that. It happens all of the time. The main thing again is that at the time of entry, the person entering with the tourist visa possesses non-immigrant intent. The other thing to keep in mind that I always tell people during a consultation of this nature is that they would not want to marry or file for the green card within the first 90 days of the entry to the United States. And that's because if you do, there's a higher likelihood that immigration will automatically presume that the person committed a misrepresentation or fraud when they entered the United States, and that could negatively affect the green card application. So I always tell people, don't do anything like getting married, don't go and file for your green card within those first 90 days. Thereafter, Now, immigration, depending on the case, could still make a finding if they believe there's something to support that the person made a misrepresentation. But the difference is that they don't have that legal presumption that they can just automatically apply when they see that that kind of activity has happened within those first 90 days. So, saying all of that, yes, it is possible to apply for a green card inside the United States based on marriage to a US citizen after having entered with a tourist visa. These are just some key important points to keep in mind. I'll make a follow-up video on other important things to know about the green card process after somebody has entered on a tourist visa and their situation changes and they decide that they're going to get married and that they're going to stay in the United States.